Okay, I had to restart the video. Um, I'm working on a video. Hi, Richard. Hello, how are you? I hope everything's going okay. I was listening to one of your videos this morning. It's a 10-minute video, um, and I just want to talk about that a little bit and then introduce you to another channel that might clear things up. Not that you don't have enough shit on your plate with answering all your emails and dealing with finding my channel and then dealing with all the other things that are coming into play. So I'm keeping that in mind so to not overwhelm and um, and don't feel overwhelmed from anything that I'm sending you, showing you, talking about with you or anything like that. I'm just trying to be helpful, but I can see that um, it's stressful. It's very stressful to get all the information that you're getting, not just from me, but from everybody. Um, I would, I mean, because it's me saying it, I would say that you're better off dealing with what I'm showing you than what anybody else is telling you, because what I'm showing you, you can go see for yourself. So, okay, let's see, I'm doing this down here. Put this back on. So let's get into listening to this top video. So on the upper, on this upper screen up here, I punched in Celestron Moon video. I did this the other day, and then I saved the area so I could go in on it because I had come across only one good moon video a couple months back. I don't remember when. Maybe under the Clayton Morris series. Yeah, I was ranking out Friedman, Lex Friedman, and those guys. And I'll talk about a bunch of things with the moon, but I don't want to delay on the moon anymore. And when you start talking about these other issues and these other things, I just need to put my 2 cents in and try to help out a little bit with it, so to make sure that everyone's going to continue to keep going down the wrong paths with it all. Again, I want to stress that without stressing my voice. I want to be able to explain to you that it's purposeful that they're doing it this way. So the video I'm about to play of you down here at this bottom, while I'm looking for moon videos that are good, real, um, something halfway decent for a moon video, and there is not much at all. I already looked around. You got a lot of people photoshopping shit. They put a photograph of the moon on a screen, on a black screen, and they go in on. I can definitely extract the imagery from all of these, but that's too much human influence, and I will recommend that you don't do it that way. I will show you other ways later. I just wanted to have something to do while I'm playing your videos that's related to the moon. So that's why I'm doing that on the upper screen, and we'll just see what I find, and I'll talk a little bit about it as we're going along. But this bottom screen is going to be you playing down here, Richard, and in this 10-minute video that you got, and then I'm going to play someone else I want to introduce you to, not to, overstimulate what you already have on your plate now, but it's important that everyone should be seeing what the hell's going on. And even the next person that I'm going to play, her channel's a really good channel, but even she still thinks that it's something that is more recent, and she's trying to stop more tyranny. But when you think about it, the tyranny's been there all along for thousands of years, and it's even further than you guys think. It's further than you think, and it's already been further than you think. And what they do is they give you bullshit stories to chase after when really you're already there. You don't have to chase anymore. You're already there, and yet, you know. So, my computer's still real slow. My internet fucking sucks for some reason. Gee, I wonder how many, agencies are tapped into my computer. But anyways, let's listen to Richard for a minute.
Welcome back to the channel. Today I was just minding my own business, going through some news items, and I noticed that Andrew Bridgen had posted a video of Business in the House yesterday, the 23rd of March 2023. And he was asking a very simple question And the leader of the House, Penny Mordaunt, gave a rather peculiar answer. And I asked myself, hang on a minute, have I just gone in a strange time warp? Have a look at this and tell me that I am not going completely mad. Here is Andrew Bridgen on YouTube on Business in the House yesterday.
Deputy Speaker, the Leader of the House will no doubt recall that we both ran on a manifesto commitment in 2010 to scrap Labour's plans for identity cards, and we were supported by the electorate on libertarian and privacy grounds. Given that there's been no public consultation on this matter since, can we please have a debate on any government plans for the introduction of digital IDs, which have recently been trumpeted by Tony Blair, who is the heir apparent to the World Economic Forum?
Okay, so let me hold it right there for a second and just let you know, Richard, that the digital IDs are already in place. They've already been there for a long time. Every store that you walk into, every traffic light that you go by, all these cameras, your home cameras, it's not the camera that actually needs the digital ID. It's the computer that the camera is mounted to or tied into. So these mainframes carry all the data of everybody's IDs. This is evidence of this every time you walk in and out of your Dollar Tree store or your Walmart or your Kmart or your shit, man. Every restaurant now has security cameras. Those cameras are all tied in to the facial recognition system so that your cameras don't have to be facial recognition, but whoever is receiving the video data, their computers have the facial recognition. So we're still looking for fingerprints, right? You're worried about the fingerprints, right? The kids had to go to school. I heard you telling the story the other day about your girlfriend's kid going to school and having to use a fingerprint in order to do so. I wouldn't be surprised if that fingerprint wasn't even necessary. It's definitely not necessary anymore, but I'm saying he might even just be looking into a screen. You only have to look into the screen because it's really your eyes and your eye sockets. The way that you can see into a person's soul, they used to describe it as, you can look into someone's eyes and know their whole life story. You will get the hang of this. You will understand that that's a real thing. That's a true thing. You can, terminology is a big deal because, I want to call it a soul because I want you to understand what it is I'm speaking of. But it's really an energy. It's the true creator's energy that I was explaining that is all around us. Now, I don't have a full understanding of how the eyes work, but the old biblical stories of you can see into a person's soul through their eyes is a true statement. You'll know the whole story by looking into their eyes. We all do it. A lot of times we do it, just are doing it by accident. But you always want to see people's eyes, to know whether they're lying to you or not. And that just only means we take the wrong interpretations because really we're lied to hundreds of thousands of times a day. Everything. What time did you wake up this morning? Oh, I got it. That's a lie. Um, uh, did you get what you wanted done? Oh yeah, I got everything done today. That's a lie. It's all lies. Everything that comes out of our fucking mouths is a lie. It's unbelievable. So you're about to talk and listen to this asshole at Parliament lie to you again. I'm going to press play again, and she's going to lie to you again, and but if the lie is not what you think it is my point. You think that she's lying, saying that these things are not going to come. That's actually the truth. They're not going to come. They're already there. They've already been there in a way bigger way than you know of. So while you're asking her, are you going to plan on fingerprinting everybody and using this to buy school lunches? And she can honestly say to you, no, because they're already doing it using facial recognition, you see? So all these fucking tyrannic laws, you can listen to these bullshit stories all you want. You're wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels. They're interesting and fun to call out and laugh at, but don't take them seriously. They're all fucking liars. So let me play this asshole and then, because she's a real asshole. I mean, you just gotta get rid of all these people, get them out, tear it all down.
And interestingly, is also the original proponent of those identity card plans, which the electorate rejected at the ballot box.
I'd say two things to the honourable gentleman. I mean, first of all, that is our record. It is incredibly important that such matters are debated, but there are no such plans to introduce the measures that he alludes to, and nor, I'm afraid, is the mention of the World Economic Forum or some global conspiracy that sits behind all of this remotely accurate or based in fact.
So you see, Richard, how she's able to tell the truth and lie at the same time? You see how fucking tricky they are? Listen to her wording. Global. I don't see any global plans that there's a global World Economic Forum planning to fucking take that, right? So she's telling you the truth at the same time because we don't live on a globe. That's the tricky part about it all. They can lie and at the same time tell you the truth. So yeah, she's right. There is no global plan of a global elite taking down the global system on a heliocentric model that they fucking made up that you all believe is real, right? So she's not lying in this situation. She's telling you the truth.
There we are, that's Penny Mordaunt there, and what I was flicking to here is Hansard. Hansard is, of course, the parliamentary vlog, if you like. It's a record of everything that takes place in the government, and it's publicly available at hansard.parliament.uk, and you can weave your way to it. And so here we go. It's actually printed out as yesterday. As I record this, Andrew Bridgen, Northwest Leicestershire, and you can see the Leader of the House will no doubt recall that we both ran on a manifesto commitment in 2010 to scrap Labour's plan for identity cards, and we were supported by an elaborate and a libertarian on...
Right, so while you're chasing down identity cards, along with, that's what I was saying about you, the Canadian Prepper, and Jeff Buys Cars, and that other girl, Squirrel Tribe, and all you guys are looking for things that are going to come, but the worst case scenario that you're not even thinking of has already happened. So here you are again. You guys are upset and worried about these lies, but the lies are not the lies you think they are. It's worse than what you think they are. So here you're talking about the IDs and ID chips and the phones and all that kind of shit. It's already there. It's just being done with facial recognition. It's not being done with fingerprint anymore. Having your fingerprint is maybe a bonus, but you got to remember they have your umbilical cords. They were already collecting umbilical cords as soon as the medical industry was set up to have babies in hospitals. They were already doing it, but they didn't ask permission and tell people that they were doing that and keeping the umbilical cords. Why? Why do you need the blood? Why do you need the umbilical cord to track back in the, they do this all the time. When they brought us the internet, of things, it was supposed to be that it was going to be better for everybody and everything and make things easier. From now on, when you went to the doctors, the dentist, the hospital, whatever you were doing, you didn't have to fill out a bunch of fucking paperwork every time in order to... What happened? What happened? We've had internet for 20 years. Every time you go to the doctors, you got to still fill out 3, 4, 5 forms of shit, right? And then plus insurance stuff and other paperwork. No, all the information is supposed to be nice and convenient because we got internet. It's going to be nice and convenient. It's the same bullshit they're telling you about the identity card shit, right? So everything's already happened. The bad stuff is already happened, and it's even worse than you're thinking it's going to someday be. It's already worse than that already. So hold on a minute.
On private grounds, etc. He says, given that there has been no public consultation on the matter, can we please have a debate on any government plans for the introduction of digital IDs, which have been recently trumpeted by Tony Blair, etc. And Penny Mordaunt stands up to say that that is our record. It is incredibly important that matters are debated, but, and this is the interesting and bizarre part, there are no plans, note that, there are no plans, can I highlight that? there are no plans to introduce the measures that he alludes to.
That's right. There are no plans to someday implement those measures, because those measures were already implemented 25, 30 years ago. And not only that, but it's even worse than you think it is, because they're not doing it with fingerprints. They're doing with facial recognition, which facial recognition is really eye recognition, is really what that boils down to, because they're looking right into your soul within the cameras, and they're getting everyone's ID that way. And they're also telling you that it's a global thing, and it's a worldwide. There's no worldwide economic forum. There's no spinning wet parocket ball. In other words, play on words. So no, there's no global. There's no global takedown. There's no plan to blow up the world. Of course not, because you don't live in a fucking world, and it's not a globe, and you're spinning what parocket ball fucking idea was ridiculous nonsense. But no one will go see that. No one will go look at that. That's too far for everyone to go. So we're going to be dilly-dallying around about electric cars and all kinds of ridiculous nonsense, which I don't fucking know. I think we're out of time. I don't think we can keep going along with all this shit anymore.
There are no plans, absolutely none. So digital cards, digital IDs, according to the government, according to Hansard, are not happening. Do we believe them? Is that a blatant lie? And if it is, that must be called out, for the government surely cannot lie and tell us porky pies, can they? They cannot say, if an MP stands up, excuse me, is this happening? No, it's definitely not. Right, great, okay, there it is. It's in Hansard. Anyone can look it up. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, and yet, we know, as audience members of this, that for a while there was a consultation paper that went up to say, what's your feedback if digital IDs were going to be introduced? And there was an outfit called Save Our Rights. And here we go, this webpage is still there. How to Digital ID Consultation Guide, and it tells you advice on how you might fill.
So I'm looking for full moons up here. These moons here, these moons that are like half moons, 3/4 and stuff, they're good to show you the timelines, and I'll get into that later. But right now I want to show you the easiest way to locate, identify, and reconfirm to yourself, and keep reconfirming the imagery, and that and how this all works, and how it really works, not the way that these guys are telling you that it fucking works.
Fill in the form on all the rest of it. And in the meantime, it says, please complete the guide on the digital.
Now, I have full moon videos, all different moon videos on my channel, and I will assign some of them. If I get another full moon coming up, I will also assign that to your series. And it's the best way to go. That's why I'm saying that. You just get your own telescope. You can buy them cheap. They're very inexpensive. You don't need an expensive one in order to start out and do what I'm trying to show you how to do. And then I'll show you how to, just a crappy little Celestron telescope, nothing fancy. And I'll show you how to easily mount it on your camera for very little expense, like $10, $15 at a time. And then you'll have enough glue to keep remounting it to your cell phone, not to your nice camera, just to your crappy little cell phone, little $35 cell phone that you'll need to get.
Digital stuff. If I go there, however, the page has now gone because the guide came to an end at the beginning of March, so that's not happening. However, if we go to the government's own website, you see here there's a policy paper called UK Digital Identity and Attributes Trust Framework.
No, here's one.
Published on in June 2022,
Here's one. Let's
updated
check
this
it
year
out.
on 11th of January. And there's all these bits and bobs. But here it is. This is the important part. It says, digital identities are an easy way to help us prove who we are without the need of physical documents. They can also help us prove things about us, such as our age and our qualification. The government is working to develop the digital identity market without the need for national identity cards. And so it's here. The government are working to develop the digital identity market. They're actually working on it. It says on their page. It's not being taken down. And look, on another page, you can see the policy paper published this year, 26th of January, UK Digital Identity and Attributes Trust Framework, Alpha. This must be before the beta version. Here we go. Please note, an updated beta version, hang on, there it is, of the trust was published on 2022. Yeah, this was updated on 2023, so I'm a bit confused by all of that. And here we go. Here's Matt Warman MP for the digital infrastructure. And if we come over here to this outfit, BSI, these people, this corporation, or whoever they are
Okay, I'm kind of pulling off two different things at the same time right now. And watch my time. I'm already at 22 minutes. All right, so this upper screen, I've got the moon playing. I've got Richard, you playing down at the bottom screen on the vocals for this, so I can talk about a few things. But as we're looking at the moon, this is Moon Video, Celestron, Nexstar, 127 SLT, Carl Randall. As I just showed, I have it on pause right now, and what I'm going to point out to you, let me show you a couple things real quick. I'll bring you in on the telescope stuff another time, but I want you to be able to go out and do this immediately, so you can start looking at the moon for what it actually is. See this crappy little cardboard thing? Let me pull back a little more. It's called a cropping tool. I invented this. I used to call it a hydron cropper. The guy that gave me this great idea of this side of it, this side, the triangular side of the cropping tool, the hydron cropper, was my thoughts. Then this less aggressive, it still has a little point to it though, less aggressive triangular thing was another guy named Wolfie. And Wolfie, I don't know if he's even still with me on my channel, but he was calling me out on a bunch of shit. So as he was calling me out, I realized some things that I was doing wrong, that this would make things much easier for me if I made this cropping tool. That's when I found what I'm now calling the false creator / creators timelines that are in the moon. And as the moon goes through our sky in a clockwise rotation, these timelines keep winding up as the moon's coming around, keep winding up, cutting out certain images and allowing us to see clearly full images of certain things. Like there's one that there's a female image. It's a full body image, well, nearly full, all the way down to the ankles anyway. And she loses her hair and comes back to looking like she's wearing a helmet. I'll show you later. But anyways, what we're looking at is we're extracting the imagery as we go through this, okay? And this is what I'm using, is this cardboard shit cropper that I invented with the help of some arch enemies. So let's get back to this.
Working on a UK Digital Identity and Attributes Trust framework, digitally varying your identity with secure and trusted systems. And look, the Department of Digital, Culture and Media and Sport seem to be a client of theirs, and the framework is going to do all of this stuff. The digital service provider provide and verify users' identity.
I used to crop on both sides. I used to crop it like what I do now. If you watch my cropper, I'm using this heavy cornered cropper in order to crop images, and I'll come right up the side of the face so you can like get the other eye. Eventually, when I have time, I'll start, let me get like 5 of these moon videos done. I'm going to do probably 15, 20 parts moon videos for your series. And especially if I keep getting distracted by all this kind of shit you guys are all talking about every day because it's important. I mean, I gotta put my 2 cents in. But I want to keep explaining this stuff to you. So what I'm doing is I'm lining this up to each image I have in my eyes. Now for me to take the pointer, where the hell is my pointer? For me to take my pointer and put it right here, that I'm lining this up. Now this full image is not even in yet. The moon's not even all the way in my camera yet. But I want to start pointing some of them out to you while they're coming in. I, underneath what look like glasses sitting up on the top of the head, right? But don't go for that yet. I'll explain inanimate objects the best that I can later. But nose, mouth down here, big lips, and I'm going to be explaining some other things. Oh, and then let me do this too while I got this one here. So that's that one, right, coming in. Then if I drop this down to here, again, I'm using my cropping tool to do a lot of this. And I'm going to lose focus a little bit here and there. See how it's getting blurry? Everything's getting blurry because I keep putting my cropper in the way and the camera's trying to readjust. If I had my cropper right up at the screen, that wouldn't happen so much. But I noticed that that happens. All right, so anyways, I'm dropping my cropper from here with this eye, and I'm going to drop it down this way, but I'm keeping the corner steady. And what I'm trying to do for you, and it is starting to come in, there it is. This eye goes longer. See, now it's way over here working because everything's image within image within image from the veil to the ground. The moon is no different. The true creators, builders still build everything in here, even though they're no, let's just stick with that part of it. All right, so now I'm gonna now I'm gonna lose him, and now I'm gonna take him out of your eyesight. I'm gonna take him out of your sight, that particular image. I'm gonna bring my corner way up here because what I'm looking to do is let me bring my cropper in further. I'm looking to get to the bottom of this area because I want to tilt my cropper up this way. Now your eyes are automatically gonna go for eye, nose, mouth of looks like a canine with glasses on or something of that nature, right? I'll bring you in on the full image of that one later. But right now, I'm bringing my corner cropper up to here because I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to bring you right over this eye so I can bring you the one that I call the wizard. And the wizard's pretty cool looking, and everything again is about lights and shadows and angles and distances of perspective. So the angles and distances of perspective, I'm not even working with yet. I'm only doing lights and shadows right now. And if I wanted to deal with, I can make things look a lot better, a lot more clear. And it's not me making them. I'm just going to a different angle and I will do that later. But I can't do that and explain all this shit at the same time. So I'm doing some now and some later. And at the same time I'm talking, I'm trying to get my stick in here. Eye, pointy nose, wart on the side of his face with his mouth down here. Now I can bring him down further and get the next image that he's within as well. I can do that. I can keep coming around. So one of the things I'm going to point out to you I'm probably not for another 2 or 3 videos because I want to play this next girl that I'm going to play too because I want you to be introduced to her. I want you to introduce you to her. It goes along with a lot of you guys are saying and thinking, but I don't want you to be distracted by her channel because I'm going to point out that she's doing the same exact thing you guys are doing. She's looking for things that are going to happen, but really they've already happened.
User registers with and authorize their ISP to share their verified digital identity with relevant partners such as the mortgage provider and so on. I mean, this is you can't tell me that it's no longer happening, and we would really need the government to actually say all of this is not happening. These people, who are these people? BSI, about BSI. BSI enables people and organisations to perform better. We share knowledge, innovation and best practice to make excellence a habit.
Okay, I'm going to point out, Richard, that all down here is also full of imagery. Everywhere in this moon, just like everything from the veil to the ground, carries the true creators, builders, and the true creators imagery. feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, face within face within face, from the veil to the ground. Body imagery is there. As a matter of fact, one of the videos that I'm going to assign to your series, I'm going to bring you in and show you how the bodies, when the false creator slash creator did his build, how he did it, because everything was divide, and you might think to yourself, well, how do you divide a face into a torso and a bottom half and legs and limbs? And I'll show you how it was done in the imagery. I'll be able to show it to you. All right, so I wanted to point that out. And then everywhere where you think there's nothing and you just think there's all this, I also point out that you have these people that are doing real deep dives into the moon and going in real deep to the craters and everything. Well, I'm going to bring you to that as well, because I want to show you how all of these craters create these images as well, because you need texture to have the images. I'm going to show you this on moon photographs that are printed on paper and plastic, see-through, clear plastic, and also on videos. Like, for example, okay, I'll give you this one again real quick. I'm going to wait for the moon to come in a little bit further in a minute, but just for right now, well, it's right here. Okay, we're going to go back to this guy. Now, this particular image, if you brought it up to here, is what they tell you is the man on the moon. Something like around here. And they tell you, oh, yeah, there's the man on the moon. And they give you some image, and that's it, right? And then, which is supposed to be some government psyop. It's a CIA psyop anyway. Okay, so I'm bringing my corner. And I want to show you how to do all this really easily later. I'm going to show you how to line it up using the shadows and the general shadows and all that shit. All right, so I'm bringing it down here. Now this upper part here, I want to bring it back this way until I get his other eye underneath what looks like sunglasses sitting up on the forehead, which is not, but I'll tell you about that later. All right, so eye, nose, mouth down here. It's got two sets of lips. Actually many, but there's two sets of lips that I want to bring your attention to right now. So first, let me get my stick out of the way so I can get you the eye. Because you have to hit, this eye here comes right down like this, and the eyeball's right under it, okay? So once you get all that, right, then bring your eyes down to the lip area. Now, I can get this much more clear. Like I said, it will be when I take the thing on me. But see right here, he's got a smoking device coming out of his mouth. I'll go like this. He's got a smoking device coming out of his mouth, and that's what I take it as anyway. Again, I've got some understanding a little bit of the inanimate objects and stuff, but it always bothers me. Still, anyways, it just bothers me. But anyways, this crater, this is a moon crater, a very large one that everyone's familiar with, but because everyone believes in this outer space, global spinning web, rocket fucking ball stupid shit. Of course, everyone believes in that nonsense, so of course they see this as what they tell you it is, in school. But I'll be able to, on some of the deep dives they do in the moon, I'm going to press play on the upper one too, and then when that one comes in a little better, I'll show it to you a little better. And, I mean, there's imagery everywhere, but I don't want to confuse your eyes either, while we're doing this. So I'm just going to try to be quiet. Let's listen to the rest of your video here.
All over the world, every day. Well, that's what they say they do, and maybe they do. It's not for me to say.
So that was it.
Except that Penny Mordaunt has said here, as you saw it, that...
Okay, so since I'm working on the moon, Richard, I just want to tell you this too. What I do on my camera, when I got my camera on the tripod, is I'm doing 360s on it. And there's a reason for that, a big reason. And I noticed that no one else does it. I mean, there's 7.8 billion people on this earth. If you figure out all the fucking space alien wannabes and all the astronauts and all the people that are moon watchers and all this stuff, psychics and you name it. I'm the only one that's doing 360s on my camera and a thing. I mean, come on, we got YouTube now. I mean, no one else is going to go show you this. No one else is going to point this out to us. There's something to that, too. When you start seeing the system, you're going to get very suspicious of everyone and say, why the fuck didn't we notice this? Why didn't we see this like many years ago? So here's this one, Moon through Celestron, Next Star. Let's try another one, because this one's
running out already. This, because this has to be called out, because I just don't believe it. There are no plans to introduce the measures that he alludes to. And the measures that are alluded to is here, given that there are no public consultation on the matter, can we have a debate on the government plans to introduce digital IDs? And she says, there are no plans. There are no plans to introduce the measures he's got. My chair, for some reason, seems to have shrunk. It does.
So yeah, this video's over anyways. I already got 40-something minutes in it, and I didn't get anything accomplished. But the next, I'm gonna do this two parts to this right now, because I want to introduce you, Richard, to this other girl in a minute. But yeah, they're when you think they're lying to you, they're not. They're telling you, no, there's no global plan to introduce global networks and all. You know, I don't have to repeat it. You're starting to get it. I hope so.
Does do this stupid chair. So there it is. What do you make of that? I mean, I have to say I'm slightly dumbfounded, because it seems that it is all go ahead behind the scenes, and yet she's announced there are no plans. So has it been quietly dropped until perhaps after the election? Or is this just more smoke and mirrors? I'd be interested in your thoughts. Do put them in the comments below. I was going to do a completely different video today on something else downstairs on my normal chair, but I felt that this had to come out, and I'd be interested in your thoughts. Thank you for watching.